Hermiston School District, so welcome. And welcome to all the returning substitutes. Appreciate you coming in. A couple things we're going to go through today. We're going to do the substitute training. Then we have a luncheon where you'll have an opportunity to meet all the administrators and the lead secretaries in the district. And then this afternoon, it looks like a number of you have signed up for the professional development. That professional development will be in the computer lab right by the table where you picked up the information from Elaine. So we'll have Michelle Dunkel doing that. All right, here we go. So introductions. My name is John Mishra. I'm the Director of Operations and Business Services for the Hermiston School District. This is my second year in that position. Prior to that, I was the principal at Armin Larby. I had the opportunity to work through all the design phase and watch this building go up from dirt to this. Then the building opened and I went to the district office. Prior to that, I was hired to be the principal at Sandstone Middle School. I was there for 6 months. I had an opportunity to work with staff there. It's a great place to be. I'm originally from the coast, from Goose Bay. It's awesome to be out here in Hermiston, be able to live here and have my kids go through the school system. Behind me here, it should be in front of me because these folks are the ones that do all of the hard work. I have Donna Thomas, who's the HR manager. Let's give Donna a big hand. Next to her, Lisa Lohman. She's our Human Resources Secretary. When you call, she's probably the one that you will get a hold of. And then next to her is Elaine Main, the future government. Okay, and they asked that they be released so they can finish up all the paperwork stuff. So thanks, ladies. You got it. All right. So here we go. Agenda for the day. We'll talk a little bit about ASOP for returning substitutes. This should be pretty simple for you. New substitutes, there are a number of training videos that you can access on your own to take a look, and you can always give us a call. I'll talk to you about the new pay rates, timesheets, and for licensed folks, the licensure issues. TSBC has changed how their website looks, so I'll go through that with you. Employee Access Center information, that's how you'll access your pay stubs. And this is always the fun stuff here at the policy training. We'll go through that. That's our mandatory annual training that we have to go through. Keys, check-in and check-out procedures. Each of our buildings, you will get a badge when you get in. And a number of your buildings are issued a key, too, to get into the particular classroom. I just added this on the advice of our payroll folks this morning, retiree and PERS information, so I'll go through that with you. And after that, we'll do an introduction of the school board, district, and building admin and secretaries. And you get a chance to introduce yourself. We've got the cordless mic over here in the corner, and we'll have you say who you are and what you're interested in doing. Lunch, and then professional development in the afternoon. So ASOP, training brochure, new substitutes. You should have received this brochure. And they're available upon request. If you give Lisa a call, it'll have her contact information. She left a card up front. You can get that. And you can also access all that information if you log into ASOP as yourself. Those videos and everything are on there. This basic training video. View it on your own if you wish to do that. Here's the link to it. If you log in, I logged in as myself. If you go right here, it says basic training video. You just click that and that'll take you through it. If you need some more advanced training, there's some other stuff right here, this advanced training video and the user guide. And then all this good information up here that will look custom to you. It'll look different from that, but it'll be custom to you. All right, important stuff here with the pay rates. For licensed substitutes, the pay rate for the day is $161.48 per day. So if you sub for anybody who's a licensed person. If you're in your position for more than 10 days, so 11 or more continuous work days, that bumps up to $175.31 a day. Now, interestingly enough, this number is the same as it was last year. Overall, the average salary in the state went down for teachers. So that's what this number is based on, is that. So this did not go up, it's the same, and so is this. For classified, with the institution of the new minimum wage requirements in our state, if you come in and substitute, which most of you will, for an educational assistant, like a special ed assistant or an ELL assistant, that's an A1 level, it's $8.80 an hour. For custodial subs, if you come in, or any other position, if you happen to come in like for maybe a library or media assistant, the rate of pay is 40 cents per hour less than step one on the salary schedule of the job category. So I'm thinking that for a life skills assistant, the pay rate for a step one person is $9.36 an hour. It would be $8.96 an hour for you as you're subbing in that position. If you have questions on that, you can give us a call. That's probably the best thing. Give us a call on payroll and we can help you with that. Paydays, check in, check out, payday. Hermiston School District, 25th of each month, or close to that. If it falls on a holiday, we'll get paid. If it falls on a holiday or weekend, we get paid before the 25th. Check-in, check-out sheet must be signed daily to ensure pay. At that point, please make sure to turn in your keys and badge. We'll hit that keys and badge part of here later in the presentation. Any time that you work after the 5th of the month will be paid the following month. Checks are all direct deposits, so you folks, if you came in, you got the direct deposit form. Right now, we're 100% direct deposit. Every single employee and substitute of the Hermiston School District is on direct deposit. And this pay stub can be accessed via Employee Access Center. The next slide will go into what that Employee Access Center looks like. This is what the screen looks like. So to get there, I'll post all this stuff on the website. This will all be on there. That's where we're getting recorded today, because this video is going to be posted on the website for substitutes to view when we sign them up during the middle of the year. So you'll go to our main website, which is hermiston.k12.or.us, and on the top there are a bunch of tabs. You'll hit Departments. That'll take you to Human Resources, and then you will click on Employee Access Center. There, your user ID number is your 5-digit employee ID number. That's a really important number for you, because that's what you'll use to access most everything that you need. And then here, at this point, is Social Security with no spaces. Then you log in. And then from that point, you can go in and change your password. I'm sure some of you have changed your password. Some of you have probably forgotten your password. That happened to me a couple of times. So just give Lisa a call. She can reset it to a generic password, and you can get in and get this information. Timesheets. We haven't done timesheets for a couple of years. The timesheet where you fill in the 8 and all that stuff. There's a daily sign-in and sign-out sheet, and this is what that sheet looks like. The lead secretaries in each of the building will have this. It'll have the start date, the end date, the school, what it was, your time, you sub for. Your part here is the signature part. Please make sure that you check out at the end of the day and sign that. That is our record that we have to keep for Boldy compliance, so please make sure that you have that. Contact information changes, address change, phone number, name change, banking change, updating your W-4s, direct deposit. If you have any questions on this information, please contact Lisa Lohman. Most of this you can do through the Employee Access Center. You can go in and update your demographics. The only thing you cannot do on the Employee Access Center is the name change. That you have to come in and bring in some physical documentation. You have to bring in a new Social Security card or a letter from the Social Security Administration stating that you had your name changed. Again, if you have questions, give us a call. We'll help you out. This next couple of slides pertain to licensed folks, people that are subbing in the teaching positions. And I'm going to go through this kind of piece by piece, because this is really important. We recommend you contact, and this is for a restricted sub. Restricted sub, someone that has an emergency licensure that does not have a degree in education. We've got a number of you folks out there where I wrote the letter and sent it to TSPC for you. We recommend you contact TSPC immediately if your restricted license is set to expire this school year. For a restricted license, there is no grace period. So the day that it expires, it expires. The following is what we are told TSPC is requiring for license renewal. Letter of request stating an emergency required from the district. So that will come from me. So I recommend you check it and get a hold of me at least. I would like a couple of months notice, but a month notice would be fine, so we can get all this information ready for you. And obtaining passing score on a test of basic verbal and computation skills, and at this point, CBS, Praxis, West B, and obtaining passing score on a civil rights test. And these are all, these are requirements that every teacher has to do. You can check your status by going to the TSPC website. As I said, TSPC changed their webpage, and I'll show you how to get to that. A couple of tricks. Here it is. You don't need to write this down again. Let's post this, but this is the web address. I don't remember that, so I'm not at my home computer. I just go into Google, TSPC Oregon. That comes up. And just click on that and take you right to it. So once you get to this page, go to Educator Lookup, which is right here on the left-hand side. You'll click on that. This will take you to this page. And this is the page where it customizes it for you. This is where you enter your information. Your first, middle, and last name. And then to customize it for yourself, you will enter your birth date. It has the way you need to do it here. And your ID number, which is the last 4 digits of your Social Security number. Then you hit the lookup button here. And then that will take you to this page. So I logged in. that's myself, to look up my teaching license, which will expire in 2014. So I went in, it has all this information. It shows my teaching endorsements here that I have, expiration dates, shows that I'm active, and it's got all of these letters here. So these are the license approval letters. These are the ones that are pretty critical for everybody to look at, because it'll give you the specific stipulations on what you need to do in order to be able to renew your license. At this point, we're working with folks that have a standard license, people that have a basic license, people that have an initial license, and for each one of those licensures, the requirements are different. For each of those, they're different. So here, for me, if I click license approval for this one right here, this is what happens. This is the letter that comes up. And they emailed me this letter. They mailed me this letter back in, I think, 2009 when I last renewed. I don't know where the letter's at, so I go here in case that comes up. And this spells out specifically what I need to do, so make sure you take a look at that. If you have any questions on the letter, if something doesn't make sense to you, please get a hold of Donna Thomas. Donna knows this stuff backward, forward, left, and right. Please get a hold of her and she'll help you out with that. I would recommend TSPC's backlog right now, but they will send you some renewal information in the mail. They're saying no more than don't update your information or put in for renewal any sooner than 90 days before. I think that's what it is. 90 days before. You'll get the packet. The packet's about that thick. So they've done some stuff electronically too. So if you look at it and say, wow, I need some help, give Donna a call. She is the expert at that. She will help you out. Okay, here we go. Take a deep breath. Policy training. These are the policies that we're going to go through today. These are the annual ones that we need to go through every year. These are all in your substitute handbook. You can also go on the website and access these. There's going to be a sheet that's going to be going around. Please sign the sheet to confirm that you have reviewed the policies. All right, here we go. So first aid, infection control, and a lot of this, I'm just going to have to read to you because we need to hit each piece of it. Each piece of this. First aid, infection control, assume all body fluids are contaminated, always follow standard procedure. When possible, have students take care of their own minor injuries. FDA-approved gloves are required and extra protection if needed. Each of the buildings have the gloves. You need the extra protection. Your classroom should be equipped with those too. Wash hands if known. Germicidal soap is preferred. All of our restrooms and sinks are equipped with germicidal soap. Clean the surfaces, so I would recommend getting hold of the custodian to do that. You can call down to the office and they can take care of that for you. Disposable waste and needles. And then report it. Report it to someone in the office that something had happened. HPV, bloodborne pathogen, limit and control exposure in this case. Comply with the standards. Provide protective equipment. Stay up to date on technology that provides a safer working environment. We have a video that you can view. We're going to get all that stuff posted for you if you want to take a look at that. These are things that don't come up often, but we need to be prepared in case they do. Hazardous materials. This is mostly for folks that are going to be working in the maintenance or custodial department. There's a written program at the district office. A copy of the MSDS quality chemicals is also located in the custodial offices in each of the buildings. I can't think of any classrooms where you have the hazardous materials stored just right out there. Even here, we've got the cabinets. We're in the science room for things are locked up. Sexual harassment. Definition for sexual harassment: when the conduct hinders or degrades an offensive work environment. Individual must make clear that the behavior is offensive and a complaint will be filed if not stopped. This is big. Individual must make clear that the behavior is offensive and a complaint will be filed or stopped. So there's some responsibility back on you or the person that believes they're being harassed, that you have to tell the person to stop or will be reported. This is the same information when I was a building principal, administrator in the building, teacher in the classroom. If these things came up, it's the same direction that I would give to my kids. And then report it to someone in the office. You can get a hold of the principal, the assistant principal, or the dean. Please report that. Drug-free workplace. We're schools, so we're a drug-free workplace. Must notify district of criminal drug/alcohol violation within 5 days of the conviction. So if this does end up happening, please call the Human Resources Department, and then we'll work through it from there. If you have a problem, the district stands ready to assist. So again, contact us on that. Hazing, harassment, intimidation, bullying, and menacing. We're committed to a positive and safe learning environment. HHIBM is strictly prohibited, and it's not tolerated in the district. It's your duty to stop this action when observed. So as you're walking down the hall, you see stuff happen. You know, here we have 648 kids scheduled to come through this building, and when the bell rings, you have 648 kids walking around. So things happen in each of our buildings with the PBS that's in place and the high expectations that we have for our staff and students. They are told to respect every single adult, and those of you that have been in the buildings know that. Sometimes it just takes a little, hey, what are you doing? And then it's done. So I encourage you to do that. Harassment of students, harassment, teacher to student, or student to staff is not tolerated. This includes harassment on the basis of race, color, religion, sex, national origin, disability, marital status, sexual preference, or age. Child abuse reporting, who and what. This is pretty big. We are, as educators, any licensed person, administrator, or teacher, or counselor, anybody that has a TSBC license, you're obligated. Anybody that works in the schools, you're obligated to report. This applies to firefighters, policemen, any social service types of folks. All staff are expected to report suspected child abuse, reasonable cause, subject to $250 fine if not reported, and/or loss of licensure. So for our licensed folks, those are one of the disciplinary actions. The report is an immediate oral report that follows up with a written filing made by you to DHS or a law enforcement agency. The number to DHS is available in every one of the buildings. The child abuse report form must be completed as soon as possible and filed at the building the child attends, so those are available too. Notify building administration. So if this does end up happening, please notify one of the building administrators that you suspect that something's going on. And this is the good faith clause. Immunity is granted to anyone acting in good faith. These things don't happen often. My 22 years of doing this, probably 5 or 6 times it has occurred. And those 5 or 6 times, 2 or 3 times is when it was substantiated. Those are 2 or 3 times when we saved something from going on. So these things don't happen, but eyes and ears open, kind of see what's happening. House Bill 2062 is the sexual conduct law. It was enacted by the Oregon legislature. It took effect July 1st, 2010, so it's been in place now for 2 years. It's aimed at targeting sexual grooming behaviors, stipulates provisions for things that we do when we hire folks. We have to send background check information for the last 3 educational entities. That's required by law that we send out. Reporting guidelines and behavior guidelines. This information is also in your sub-handbook. And then we have a brochure. If you want access to that, we have that at the district office, and I'll post it online too. A lot of times when you're in the buildings, you have access to the computer. You should have access to the computer because as a teacher, you're going to be in there taking roll and doing some other things. So we have you sign that employee network code of conduct. Please see the building secretary for the substitute login information when you check in for the day. The logins changed this year. Bob Silver, our director of technology, has made some changes with that. So please make sure that you see the building secretary for the most up-to-date and pertinent information. You are allowed to use district networking computers for personal use during times you are not responsible for supervising students. It's during prep time or break time, as long as the access does not violate district protocol, state law, or TSBC regulations. District protocol, state law, those are things that are in the policy. TSBC regulations, those are all in the ethical educator. You have the ability, when on a designated break, to access the internet to look for jobs on ASOP, because jobs do come open during the day. So when you're on a break, go ahead and go into ASOP and take a look at what's out there. Refrain from accessing or passing along obscene or pornographic materials. Do not solicit funds, distribute chain letters, unauthorized sales or purchases, transmit new materials regarding political campaigns, membership drives, or signatures. Yes?
I have a question. At the high school level, what I found is that several different teachers have several different policies on cell phones and stuff in the classroom, which makes it really confusing for some. Could they put that in their notes, what they want? Or?
Yes, I can recommend that. See what we can do on that.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Good comment. It is a violation to use district equipment or access for personal gain, gambling online, accessing, running a personal online business while at work. I'd also encourage you not to be bringing in thumb drives. The last couple of times we've had issues when a thumb drive has come into a district computer because everything's on a network, whether it's wired or not, and stuff ends up going on to our network. So please don't bring in any of the thumb drives if you have those. All of our teachers have the ability to post lesson plan and information on ASOP, and they also have a share drive that you will be able to have access to when you're in the building to get any information that you need. Copyright laws, please be aware of those. Do not let students get personal information out on the web under your supervision. So I would recommend locking the computer if you leave. If you walk away from the computer for an extended amount of time, I would recommend just doing Control, Alt, Delete to lock the computer. And then you just log back in and come back. Student searches, these don't, again, come up very often, but just in case. Less imminent risk, threats to safety. No student should be searched without administrative presence. Every room has a telephone in it, so if this comes up, I would recommend you call down to the office and wait for someone to come down. It also gives you another set of eyes down there in case this has to happen. You generally don't conduct the search in the classroom. That happens if you remove the student and go somewhere else. Must be based on reasonable suspicion. Searches defined by law includes pockets, outer clothing only, backpacks, cell phones. I'll come back to this accessing part of it. Personal media devices, lockers, cars, etc. So cell phones, if someone has a cell phone, and the policy is no cell phone, you confiscate the cell phone, you've confiscated the cell phone. That's all you can do. You don't have authority to access the content. So you don't open it up and look at the text message or any of that stuff. Because the issue is the cell phone. If the policy in the classroom is no cell phone, you're confiscating the cell phone. And then your buildings have protocols, how that's handled, where the phone goes, and who has access to that. Searches will be conducted in privacy out of the view of other students, staff, and others, and in the presence of an adult witness of the same sex as the student whenever possible. Search form must be completed when the search is completed, and you can obtain that form from the school office personnel. That's it for the policy part of it. We'll get into the keys and badges then. The key and badge you check out is your responsibility, so most of you will get a badge. You'll get a badge. Probably a badge holder or a lanyard. That's yours for the day. And some of you will also get a key, a physical key that you will use to get into your classroom. Please make sure, and this is why it's imperative for you to check out at the end of the day, please make sure that you turn in your key and badge at the end of the day when you check out for the day. So not only does that help you turn your badge in, it helps you turn your key in, and it helps you sign out and get paid for the day. So those three main things. So please make sure that you do that. And this is what our principals will be sharing with all of their folks. Replacement keys cost $25. Pretty expensive. But these are special cut keys, double cut, cost $25. So please make sure that you turn all that stuff in. Okay, retiree and PERS information. This was the recently added one. PERS retirees. Please track your hours and check provisions under which you retired from PERS. We know a lot of you work for other school districts. So please have a way for you to manage and track how many hours you work, because I'm sure there are some stipulations that are out there that tell you how many hours you can work in a year. And again, different options have different stipulations. If you take a lump sum versus payment over time. And this is information you probably got when you retired. You may not remember it, it may have changed. If that's the case, give Laura Tucker a call at the district office. This is her phone number here. This is her email. Her cards are sitting out on the front table too. She's the one that contacted if you have any questions, so please get a hold of her. Upcoming dates. So please join us for professional development this afternoon. Right around 12:15. We'll get around, finish about 2 o'clock in the computer lab. Computer lab A, it's the one right behind that table that you signed in today. We have Michelle Dunkel, our technology TOS on board to conduct that training. Should be a great deal for us. She's got a dock camera, meeting boards, and talking about iPads, iPods, all that good stuff. All staff in service and professional development, Wednesday, August 22nd, Hermiston High School, 7:30 a.m. You all should have received a brochure. If you didn't get a brochure in the mail, we've got extras for you. Please attend those sessions that are there. And then professional development throughout the year. Mrs. Brown in your department, you're going to do a great job in services getting those trainings together, and we welcome you to come to those. Okay, so if you have any questions, Lisa Loman will be your first contact. Her card is out there too, email address. So if you have any questions on that end, please do that. I'm going to talk a little bit about PDUs. For licensed substitutes, the PDU requirements are changing as we go. Donna Thomas has posted some information on our website, and she can also help you through that. So to get those PDUs, you need to go to trainings. So please access the trainings that we have. Okay? So now it's time for us to do the pass the microphone around. We'll start with Mr. Smith, our interim superintendent, and he has some comments for you, and he has some school board members he's going to introduce. So, Mr. Smith. We're ready to go. Let's give Mr. Smith a big hand.
Well, I hope Mr. Misha promised you that that was an entertaining and engaging policy training that many of you have been through many times. We apologize for that because it does get a little monotonous, but there are very important things that we do cover. And please, we're here to support you, so as John has said multiple times, if you have any questions about any policy or just something kind of doesn't sound right or you just